Hello class, and welcome to lesson 27 in module 4. It's the last lesson where we are going to learn how to write and graph inequalities. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here to the first half, the top, and step 1, and I guess the title for step 2. And here is the second half, all of step 2. Okay, so back up to the top. Like I said, today we're going to learn how to write and graph inequalities. Now first off, to graph an inequality statement, we really, more than anything, need to know what we mean when we're saying inequality statement. Okay, so just as a quick refresher, the word inequality here refers to these signs. The greater than sign, which kind of looks like an alligator that's opening up to the left, because whenever we're saying greater than or less than, we're referring to whatever is on the left. So it's trying to open up to whatever is bigger on the left side, so it's greater than. We have the less than sign, which is basically just the opposite of that. It's opening up toward the right. Okay, so whatever the number on the right is what it's trying to eat, so the thing that's on the left is less than. Then we also have something new, kind of new. I mean, you've seen it before, and I'm pretty sure you know what we're talking about here, but we call it the, well, actually, I'm going to probably need some more room. So we've got the greater than, that's where it gets different, or equal to. Okay, so that looks just like the greater than, right? We know what that is. That opens up this way. But then the equal to portion we represent with a line underneath. So it's kind of like the greater than sign and an equal sign came together and turns this. So that means greater than or equal to. All right. And below that, similarly, we have the less than or equal to, and just what you think it would be a less than sign with the line underneath. And that's sort of referring to a less than sign and an equal sign coming together and becoming less than or equal to. So those are the 4 signs we're going to be working with to show our inequality statements. So remember, the greater title for those are the inequality symbols. Alrighty, so we've got to know those before we can do anything. Let's come back over here to our notes and take a look. So we have now been refreshed on what inequality symbols are. So they're going to give us some stories, and we're going to have to turn them into statements. So let's take a look. At Wendy's, if your order takes 10 minutes or longer to be prepared, it's free. So how long must a customer wait for a meal to be free? Now I know that we don't want to wait 10 minutes for our food, we want it right away. However, it's not too bad to have a free meal. So what we're trying to figure out is how long will they have to wait for it to be free? We know right here that it says at 10 minutes or longer, it's for free. So we know that what we're looking for, the part we're looking for, is our wait time. How long do we have to wait? So if we're looking for the wait time, we know our inequality statement has to start with W. So W refers to our wait time, and our wait time has to either be this 10 minutes or longer than our 10 minutes. So we know that if it is 10 minutes, it's equal to, and if it's longer than 10 minutes, it's greater than. So if we put together our equal to and our greater than, we get a greater than or equal to. So our final expression should look like greater than or equal to 10. And that's what we see here. Our wait time is greater than or equal to 10 minutes. Now, the real meat of today's lesson is learning how to graph these inequalities. So step 2 is all about how to graph them. There are a few things to know about graphing inequalities, and when we say graph, we basically just mean to put them on a number line. How do we put these inequalities on a number line? First step is that if the inequality has an equal to, so if it has one of those lines underneath, if it's if it looks like one of these two, the greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, if it's got that equal to, we need to mark your point with a filled in dot, okay? So let's say 10 is the number that we're referring to. If it's equal to, we fill it in with like a full dot, just a big round one. However, if the inequality does not or has no equal to, if it's just a greater than sign or less than sign with no line underneath, you mark that with an empty dot, or just like a circle with a dot missing in the middle, okay? So if it is there, if it is equal to or greater than or less than or equal to, there's a dot there. And if it's not equal to, there's not a dot there. And that kind of makes sense, because if there is a dot there, there's actually a point on that number on the line. If it's not equal to, then there really shouldn't be a point, because we're not really referring to that number. And that'll kind of make more sense down here in the second step. If the inequality is greater than, you mark your point, and then you mark your line to the right, starting at your point, okay? So let's say in this scenario, the equation or the inequality statement that we're referencing is going to be n is greater than or equal to 9. Okay, so here we see that it's greater than or equal to. Since we have this little line underneath the equal to, that means our dot is going to start at the 9, and it's going to be full because it could be 9. And since it's greater than or equal to 9, we're going to move up on the number line, moving in the positive direction or the right direction. Okay, if it's greater than, we move to the right. Now, the inverse of that down here, if the inequality is less than, then you mark your line to the left, starting at your point. So here, this equation would have to be n is less than or equal to 9, because we see that it isn't equal to, less than or equal to, so we have a filled in dot, and if we're moving less than, that means our line moves in the left direction or the negative direction, so we're moving into smaller numbers, okay? So up here in our example, we had the wait time is greater than or equal to 10 minutes. So if we were to place that on a number line from scratch, let's come over here. We know our statement is W is greater than or equal to 10 minutes. We have a number line. Let's say, start over here at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and so on. So we know that it is greater than or equal to, so we know our dot has to be a full dot because we have the equal to. So we'll put a dot at the 10 because we know it's equal to. And since we are looking at greater than, so the wait time has to be equal to or bigger than 10, then we move in the direction of the number line where the numbers are getting bigger. So we go over it that way. Now, we have only done examples of full dots, so let me do one quick example of an empty dot. Let's say the policy at Wendy's was that it had to be more than 10 minutes. If the order came out right at 10 minutes, you still had to pay for it, but anything more than 10 minutes was free. So let's say if the wait time was greater than 10 minutes, then you get it for free. Notice here that there is no equal to sign underneath it. So it would look like this. We got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 minutes. So because there is no equal to line underneath, our point is going to start with with an open circle at the 10. However, it is still going to move in the greater than direction, the bigger numbers. So the only difference between the two is that here we have an equal to sign, so the dot is filled in. Here there is no equal to sign, so the dot is empty in the middle. It's pretty much everything we've got for the notes today. We'll practice this a little bit in class. Hopefully that makes at least a little bit of sense to you, and we will go over it tomorrow when we practice. Thank you very much, and goodbye.